Sup y'all, hello, how are you? What are you doing? Watching my video? Yeah, you are. You watching my video. You watching my video? Okay, that's enough of that. Alright, so, as I stated in my last video, if you did not watch that, go watch it, because I can never remember to put eyes and links and all that stuff. If you're new here, get used to that, because I don't do that stuff. So, if y'all remember from my last video, I totally teased out that I was doing the haul of all hauls, an anti-haul. If y'all don't know what an anti-haul is, like, where the fuck have you been? So, anti-hauls were started originally by Kimberly Clark, who is kind of like a beauty guru here up on the YouTubes, RIP girl. She's not dead. She's not dead. Jesus. She's not dead. She just doesn't film videos anymore. Damn. No, not RIP. What am I talking about? Jesus. She's not dead. She's not dead. Living long and prosper, Kimberly Clark. She's a drag queen, and she makes videos on YouTube. She doesn't do that anymore because she's actually out in the real world doing things with real people instead of sitting in her house alone in front of a camera. Okay? So, good on her. She's doing way better things than I am. So, she's not dead. She's not dead. So basically, she started this whole like anti-haul movement kind of to combat this whole consumerism thing that goes along with like the beauty community and makeup and blah blah blah. Now especially, I feel like I wish Kimberly would come back. Ooh, you know what? I need to do like her what I'm not gonna buy in memory of Kim. Not in memory. God, she's not dead. She just doesn't film videos anymore. So, and shouts out, let's say that, shouts out to Kimberly Clark, what I'm not gonna buy. That was kind of her theme song. If you've never seen it, you should totally search her and check it out. She's super funny. Okay, so, her basis behind this whole anti-haul movement was like an anti-consumerism, kind of combat the consumerism thing that's going on in the beauty community. I, however, am just not that deep. I'm just not when it comes to social justice, anything, because I'm just very that. So it's just, oh yeah, I'm blonder. I went a couple of shades blonder. I may do another process because it's still kind of, I mean, this side's a little bit lighter than this side. I did it myself, okay? So if you're a stylist and you're looking at my hair and you're like, bitch, the fuck did your hair? I did. I filled my entire head all by myself. All by myself. But this is not what that video is about. I'll talk about that in another video. This is about an anti-haul. And if you're not used to 5-minute intros, then welcome to my fucking channel. So Kimberly started the anti-haul in order to combat consumerism, like anti-consumerism or what have you. I, on the other hand, like doing anti-hauls to combat this whole debachery that is the makeup world as of late. And I also feel like I wanted to do this video because I feel like anti-hauls are kind of dwindling out a little bit, especially nowadays. Like every makeup person on YouTube is like so scared they're not gonna get PR from a brand that they don't really like spill the tea. They don't really delve into their own feelings about such products. I, on the other hand, don't give a fuck. So, let's do it. Let's just get into it, because if there's one thing I like doing more than anything else, it's talking shit. Alright, first up on the list is TBH, the entire premises of me making this anti-haul. It is the most cringiest display of fuckery to ever grace the makeup world ever that I've ever seen. It's so fucking cringy. Yes, that's right. You guessed it. It's the Too Faced Pretty Mess collection. And that's exactly what it is. It's the fucking mess, girl. I feel like, here's the weird thing about this collection. I feel like Too Faced is always very kid-like, and they're always, you know, everything that they come out with is like very kiddie and just like with stickers. Like they have palettes that you put little stinkers on. Basically, Too Faced to me reminds me of like 12-year-olds makeup. And then you come out with something that's completely on the, just complete polar opposite end of the spectrum. Had I not known who this person was, which I really don't know who she is, all I know is that she's a housewife. BT Dubs, they collaborated with some housewife who I don't even know what housewife she's on. I don't know who she is. Erica Jane, I think is what her name is. I don't know if she's like a Beverly Hills, I know she's not OC, because that's the only housewives that I watch, and she ain't on there. So I don't know who she is, but I know she's a housewife, and I know like that whole stitch. But had I not been like so deep into the makeup world, I totally would have thought this was a line catered to porn stars, because not that there's anything wrong with that, but like cater it to porn stars and collaborate with a porn star, because I feel like that's just what happened right here. So let's start with the palette. First off, good on you, Too Faced, for totally slipping through the cracks on completely ripping off the Dose of Colors Hidden Treasures palette, because with the shadow layout, with the color scheme, like everything in that palette screams Hidden Treasures to me. And when it first came out and I looked at it, I'm like, why does this look so familiar? Oh, that's why, because they ripped off Dose of Colors. So essentially the palette's not any other palette that you couldn't get anywhere else or that hasn't already been launched, aside from the Hidden Treasures palette with the layout and everything like that. But the color names, like there's a color called Rich is Better. There is a color called Sextravagant. Sex, not extravagant, Sextravagant. There's a color called Close Off. I don't know if you guys have seen the promotional video for this, but I literally, like when I watched the promotional video on Instagram, I was like, am I watching parody right now? Because it's so cringy. Oh god, it's just, I can't fucks with this whole like materialistic vibe that all these Instagrammers and influencers have going on right now. Like, it's getting to be a little much. It's getting to be like everybody just wants to be Jeffree Star and have all his money and carry all his things. Do you know what I mean? And it's just getting to the point where it makes normal people feel about this big, feel like a piece of shit about themselves because they can't afford a Gucci bag or drown themselves in gold or whatever it is the rich people do nowadays. They also have a highlighter in this collection. How Many Fucks Do I Give is the name of the highlighter. And that's another thing too, like you, for the most part of your brand, are catering basically to 12-year-olds. I mean, there are those of us who are adults that like real cute stuff and you're like, oh my god, so nostalgic, I like it so much. So you buy some of the things, but for the most part, like, it's kind of catered to 12-year-olds. And then you have this highlighter called How Many Fucks Do I Give? Like, what? It just makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense. The highlighter looks like it may have some kind of overspray on it because it looks very glittery and whatever else. I just feel like Too Faced needs to like calm it down a little bit. And then they like, it seems to me, every time Too Faced comes out with something, I ain't even, girl, that's not even the end of this collection, the big of this collection, which I will get to. The thing with Too Faced about me is I feel like Too Faced always, they'll like come out with like a peach palette and everyone gets so obsessed over this peach palette, and then they'll like completely over-exaggeratively monopolize on whatever the fuck that was that sold all that stuff. You know what I mean? So like the peach palette, and then they got peach foundation and peach spray and peach lipstick and peach. And then there was the Tutti Frutti. Now they're also coming out with more Tutti Frutti shit. Like, you got Tutti Frutti shit and then you got porn star shit. Like, which one is it, dude? Do you want to cater to porn stars or do you want to cater to 12-year-olds? Like, I just don't understand it. And I also feel like they're so enamored with their packaging and presentation and everything else that the makeup kind of lacks. Because I feel like as of like the last year or so, Too Faced has really just gone downhill when it comes to like the quality of makeup and the things that they come out with. Like, I feel like they just keep coming out with the same thing over and over again, and it doesn't make any sense when it comes out. There was a lip gloss also launched with this collection called the DSL. DSL, girl. You know what DSL is? I do too. I'm not gonna say it, but you know what it is. According to Too Faced, it's like dramatic something lips or something like that. I don't even know what it is. I'm not even going to take time to look at it. It was stupid. Again, sounds like you're catering to porn stars. And then to top it all off, you come out with a powder called Pat the Puss. Pat the Puss. Girl, Pat the Puss. So I initially thought that this was just a face powder. And you know, sometimes people like, punch you in the puss. No. Puss. Sometimes your face is called your puss, right? Like back in the day. I feel like I've heard people call like your face your puss. Like, I'll punch you in the puss, right? Or maybe I'm just thinking way outside of the box here, but I feel like I've heard that your face is your puss, right? So I was like, okay, I'll let it slide. And then when I actually saw the product and realized it's an entire body powder, I was like, okay. Okay. And the only thing I could vision in my visions in my brain, the first thing that came to my mind when I saw this, because I saw it at work, if y'all don't know, we're at Ulta, was when I was younger, my grandmother used to have this powder. Did y'all's grandmas have this powder that they had the big puff with, and they would take it and they put it all over their body and they pat it under their boobs and then they pat it on their crotch? My grandma used to do that, and that was the first thing that came to my mind when I saw that powder and I heard it was called Pat the Puss. That's what came to my mind, and it's not pretty. So that's gross. Too Faced. Don't be selling stuff to pat your puss with. It's just not cool. Porn stars. Again, you're catering to porn stars. Don't want it, not go buy it, not go buy it. I don't want it, and I'm not gonna buy it because it's gross. And I'm not a porn star. No shade to porn stars, but like, I'm not one. So I'm not gonna buy your porn star makeup, Too Faced. Next up on the list is Copycat Beauty. First of all, like, I don't mind if you want to like try to make more affordable versions of high-end makeup that's already out there, because at the end of the day, there's a reason why it's cheaper. It's because it's got shitty ingredients in it and it's shipped from China or whatever else. But at the end of the day, to have an entire makeup line based around this and then to call it Copycat and then to call it Copycat is like, that's pushing the boundary a little bit, when really, you could essentially just go on AliExpress and buy all the same shit for, I bet, way cheaper than what they're selling it for. And then you've got fucking Danielle Bregoli, the Dr. Phil bitch, who's never ever like been affiliated with makeup in any other way ever. Every time I've ever seen that bitch out, she has had not one lick of makeup on other than some eyeliner. When she went to Jeffree Star's house and gave him some makeup, which BT Dubs not really fucks in with Jeffree Star's review of this makeup, because I feel like his review is a little bit biased because the bitch brought it to his house. Do you not? Because if that was any other brand under any other circumstance, you know Jeffree Star would have trashed that shit. Come on now. Come on, Jeffree Star. So you've got this like copycat makeup brand with Danielle Bregoli, which BT Dubs, can I just throw out there that I literally, up until about 3 months ago, thought that her name was Bad Bobby because her spelling wasn't really like vibing with things I learned in school. So I was like, Bad Bobby, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? And then I heard people saying her name and I was like, oh, it's baby, it's just spelled different. I get it. But anyways, literally when she was in the Jeffree Star video, had absolutely no clue about the makeup, because he was like asking her questions and she's like, I really like that one. Yeah. Like there's nothing there. There's nothing there with her. So, yeah, need I say, I feel like I don't even gotta say anymore. Don't want it, not gonna buy it, not doing it, because, and it literally solely for the purpose that she is like the ambassador for the brand. Fuck no. I cannot stand that girl. Can't stand her. Don't want it, not go buy it. Next up on the list is Urban Decay. So first off is the Naked Reloaded. Let it go, girl. I just wish, dude, Urban Decay used to be like so innovative, and you know, they were the first ones on the scene that were really doing like something different with makeup, and they've always had this really cool like edgy vibe to them. But literally over probably the past 2 years, it's just like, wah, wah. Whenever they come out with something, I'm like, ugh, I can't even tell you the last time I bought an Urban Decay product because of that reason. Granted, they do have really good makeup, but I just feel like they're a step behind. They're always a step behind in the game. Just like Benefit Cosmetics. I feel like Benefit Cosmetics is another one that used to have really good products, but ever since the makeup world has kind of stepped it up a little bit, it always seems like they're just too far behind. They're just a step behind. When something really cool and innovative comes out, you know, a year later, Urban Decay comes out with it. I also feel like they're just another one of these, like a Too Faced who monopolizes on something that they've made a lot of money from. Like, let's be real, the Naked palettes at the time of their release were like where it was. They were such nice palettes, they were such good shadows at the time. But since those have released, a bagillion other neutral eyeshadow palettes have released. I understand that they're kind of trying to like relaunch some kind of shadow reformulation and, you know, proclaiming that their shadows are so much better, that this particular palette is so much better than the original Naked palette. But it's like, girl, it's just like, I have 72 palettes that look just like this. And I think I heard somebody else say this too, but I feel like maybe it's like, is this not just the Anastasia Sultry palette a little bit? Do you feel like that a little bit? I feel like that a little bit. I just feel like they just always fall short, and I'm so bummed because I love Urban Decay's aesthetic. I love their like edgy, cool aesthetic as a brand as a whole. But as far as their products go, I just feel like they just keep falling behind. Come on, Urban Decay, do something new and cool, please. Please, Veronica, please. So the next palette I have is just something I was just so torn on. But I know I'm not going to do it. Because I know I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to buy it. I don't want it. I ain't going to buy it. But I kind of want it, but I ain't going to buy it. And it is the Anastasia Riviera collection. Or not collection, but palette. This is a very bright, bold, beautiful palette. Although, I will say, looking at this palette and then looking at Norvina, I think Norvina put swatches on Instagram, maybe like Instagram stories, or maybe just a video on Instagram. I can't remember where I seen like her swatches at. The swatches look completely different from the palette. I feel like the swatches aren't as vibrant as what I originally thought the palette was going to be. And let's be real, are you going to use this motherfucker? Like, unless you're that person, if you're that bitch that like does that fucks it up, Veronica, with the color and the eyes and the color, then yes, fuck that palette up. But if you know you're not going to use it, don't buy it, girl, just because it looks pretty. Because that's where I am. Like, I really want to buy it because it looks pretty. But I know I can't. I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to buy it. I don't want it. I'm not gonna buy it. Moving right along, we have Zoella X Colourpop collection collaboration. First of all, like, could Colourpop possibly collaborate with anybody else? Like, is there anyone even left to collaborate with? I feel like every other week Colourpop is coming out with a collaboration for somebody. And A, I'm not buying this because Zoella, really? Like, when I think Zoella, the literal last thing I think is makeup. When I think Zoella, this is a little bit shady. I'm going to be a little bit cunty. So just pre-warning if you're a Zoella fan. When somebody says Zoella, or I think of Zoella, I think, is she still on YouTube? Oh, Zoella. Yeah, she used to make videos like back in the day, right? Does she still make videos? Do people still watch her? Is she like a thing still? Oh, okay. Does she make up? Oh, okay. Okay. That's kind of what I think about Zoella, which, no shade to Zoella, I'm sure she's a real great person and stuff, but didn't she like rip a bunch of people off or something? Like, she came out with something or did something and like fucked a bunch of people over? I don't remember. I do remember seeing she had something else somewhere else, like Target, Kohl's. I feel like I've seen Zoella's name on something else. Anyways, this collection is the brunch date collection, and then I feel like does Zoella brunch? Like, is that like her thing? Is that why this is a brunch collection? Like, does she talk about brunch a lot? Does she cook or? Okay. So this collection comes with a palette, eyeshadow palette, lip glosses, pressed highlighters, stuff like that. And not just because of Zoella am I not buying this or not wanting to buy this, or anti-hauling, we'll say. Not just because of Zoella, but because of the fact that I just don't feel like ColourPop palettes. Like, I don't own a ton. I own like 2 or 3 ColourPop palettes, and I feel like even their collaboration palettes, because I have the Kathleen Lights ones, they're just okay. Like, I don't think that ColourPop pressed shadows are like anything to write home about. What am I, like 90? There's nothing to write home about. Anyways, I just don't feel like they're like all that. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just like an eyeshadow cunt. I don't know. But the ones that I have, I just feel like they weren't like enough for me to be like, oh, let me go out and buy this collaboration with this chick that I don't watch or have anything to do with. Cool. Maybe if somebody that I really like that's the reason why I bought the Kathleen Lights one, is because I really like Kathleen Lights. I wanted to support her, so I bought her palette. Why is this happening with my hair right now? Like, why can't you do this, please? So I stopped staring at myself in the viewfinder. Anyways, I bought the Kathleen Lights one primarily just to support her. And I just felt like it kind of fell short a little bit. Like, I don't know. I just found myself not using it. I thought the shadows were a little bit powdery. So I'm not really like super into ColourPop eyeshadows. Granted, I've never tried the single pans before. A lot of you guys, I think for the Kathleen Lights palette, when I told you guys that I wasn't really fucking with that palette, like, it was okay, but it was like, I feel like it performed what it costs. Let me say that. Like, I feel like the performance of it kind of justified the cost, because as y'all know, ColourPop is like super cheap, and I feel like the performance of those eyeshadows kind of go along with what they cost. Again, I've never tried the single ones. A lot of you guys, when I talked about the Kathleen Lights palette not being that great, said, bitch, you need to try the single shadows. I never got around to ordering them, because I'm me. Y'all know I don't like to order shit online. I hate ordering online. I just do. I don't like ordering anything online. I don't like ordering makeup. I don't like ordering clothes. I don't like ordering nothing online that I can't order from Amazon and get in 2 days. Okay? Next up on the list is the Tarte. We totally fucked up coming out with our oh so inclusive Shape Tape foundation. Now we're doing a do-over with Face Tape foundation. Yeah. So if you guys remember the whole debacle behind the Shape Tape foundation, first of all, the range was not so fucking inclusive. They came out with all these colors. I think they only came out with like 20 some colors at first, and they were literally like all the same shade except for like 5 shades. And then they tried to do this like matte and hydrating. They had a matte version and a hydrating version, and then come to find out the hydrating version was like literally the same formula as their Double Duty Beauty foundation, and it was just all a mess, girl. So now they're doing it again. They're trying it again, doing a do-over. Tarte's doing it over again with Face Tape foundation, which apparently, well, first off, let's just say they did it right. They came out with all 50 shades at once, all at once. Good job. That's a good do-over right there. Good on you. They came out with 50 shades all at once. But okay, here's the thing. The description of this foundation is inspired by Tarte's iconic Shape Tape concealer. This long-wearing, full-coverage foundation mattifies, hydrates, and brightens your appearance. Am I just crazy? But like, is that literally not the exact same description that they had on the Shape Tape foundation? Like, am I losing my mind here or what? I feel like that was like the exact same thing they said about Shape Tape. Even though there's like a mattifying and a hydrating one, it was like essentially like the same thing. Like, oh, this is Shape Tape in foundation form, which is exactly what they're doing with this. This is Face Tape in a foundation form. Like, I feel like they're coming out with this and kind of like trying to sweep the other one under the rug. We remember, girl. We shall not forget. We know what you did, Tarte. we know what you did. Which I feel like is probably why nobody's really talking about this, because I feel like I haven't heard anybody talk about this foundation like since it came out. That's another thing. Tarte is another one of those brands monopolizing off of like one single thing. So you have Shape Tape, which is essentially like the best concealer in the world. Like, I don't really fucks with it. I use it as an eye primer, but I feel like it's a little bit too drying under my eyes. I'm probably the only fucking person in the entire universe that doesn't really give a fuck about Shape Tape, because everybody's like Shape Tape, Shape Tape, Shape Tape, which is cool. But then they came out with like Shape Tape foundation, another Shape Tape foundation, 3 foundations after the concealer. Like, can you just come out with some other stuff? They have like an entire Shape Tape line basically. So if you go into Ulta, there's like 2 full gondolas dedicated to nothing but Shape Tape. They have like a Shape Tape primer and like some Shape Tape lip shit or something like that. I'm like, bro, come on with something new. For me, I feel like I shout out to a brand so much more if they come out with something that's like, oh my god, that's so fucking dope, that's badass, and it's so good, it's such a good product, and then they come out with another good product, rather than coming out with another product that's just like kicking off the heels of the last good product they came out with. Just come out with another good product. You know what I'm saying? Am I crazy? Am I the only one that feels this way? Is this just me? Is this just me? This is nobody else. So I don't want it. I'm not gonna buy it. Not for the reasons you may think. Not for the reasons because full coverage and matte, and that's not what I fucks with. But solely because you fucked up, Tarte, and you try to do yourself over and try to sweep the other shit under the rug, and it ain't gonna work. So I don't want it. I'm not gonna buy it. All right, and then the last thing on my list, which I feel like this was kind of a short list. Do you guys want to see more anti-hauls from me? Please let me know, because I feel like I really could do one. Maybe if I do one a month, that'd be a little overkill, but I could do them way more often than I am. Okay, so the last thing on the list is something that I have wanted to like speak out about, and I just keep forgetting about, because y'all know me, ADD, short-term memory, bury that. And that is the Desi / Benefit Cosmetics, Desi's favorite bloobity blah, whatever. Desi's bomb ass brows, or is that what it's called? Bomb ass brow? Yeah. Desi bomb ass brows by Desi Perkins. First of all, this is nothing new. This essentially, okay, so when they relaunched all their brow stuff, Benefit had this kit that was like brows or something. I don't remember what it was called, but it was literally this kit. So this kit is essentially just that kit with Desi Perkins' name on it in her shade. So it's like, is this really like all that innovative? This, I feel like, is one of those things that a YouTuber or an influencer literally just stuck their face on and was like, fuck yeah, I'll get paid to do that. Yes. And I'm not, and that's no shade towards Desi, because I really do like her. I love like her and Katie as a duo. I love that. They got their little thing going. It's very cute, very nice, very up and coming. We love them as a duo. I just feel like this is something she literally just slapped her face on, because as I said, this kit was already in existence. So if you don't know, this kit basically comes with like all the relaunches. So you get the brow powder in here, the foolproof brow powder, which I really do like and I own. The Precisely My Brow pencil, which is like a rip of the Anastasia pencil. You get a little brush, you get the brow setter, and then you get the Ka-Brow, which first of all is entirely too many brow products for one person. Like, are you going to use all that? Really? Are you? You're going to use a pomade and a powder and a pencil and a setter, brow gel set. Really girl? That's a lot. For me, I just want something that like does it all in one shot. I don't want to have to use 17 different products just for my eyebrow hairs. Maybe 3-4 years ago, yeah, I probably would, because I didn't have brows before I had grown them back in. But probably not. Probably just the pomade or just the pencil or just the powder. I feel like it's a little bit overkill with like all of them. But like I said, this kit was already in existence basically. The only difference between this kit and like their original kits is I believe the original kits had what's it called? The oh my god, what's it called? I have it somewhere. What is it called? Gimme Brow. Jesus, Gimme Brow. That's the only difference between her kit and then like the original kit is the original kit comes with Gimme Brow versus the Brow Setter. Literally the only difference. So the only reason why I'm not going to buy that, A, because I don't need that many fucking brow products for one brow session, and B, I feel like it's just something she kind of slapped her face on. No shade to Desi Perkins, but I do feel like that's what it was. I mean, all this stuff was already in existence. You know what I mean? And she was like, okay, let me put my face on this kit and get paid lots of money. I'd probably do it too. So there's that. Okay, so that's it. That's it for my anti-haul. Do you guys like these videos? Should I keep on doing them? Again, I feel like this one was kind of a short one. There's so much other shit that I feel like, oh my god. This was just like the end all, beat all. This is like where it's at. Of all the things that I saw, like when I was researching and stuff, of all the things I saw, this is the stuff where I'm like, bitch, what? Especially with the Too Faced thing and the Tarte thing. Bitch, what? What are you thinking, bitch? Like, what the fuck? Especially with that Too Faced shit. Dude, I can't even fuck with that. Like, what? Pat the Puss. I can't fuck with the Pat the Puss. Oh my god. So cringy, girl. Go watch the promotional video. If I didn't stick it in here, I don't know if I'll get slapped for copyright if I do. So I may not, but go watch the promotional video. It's like cringy as fuck. Like, why are people so cringy now? Why are Instagrammers and beauty gurus so fucking cringy now? Why? Why, girl? Why? Just be a person. Just be a human. Please. Just for a day. Okay, so that's it. That's my anti-haul. Should I do more? Should I do more of these? Because I feel like I could. I probably won't do like one a month because that's a little bit overkill, don't you think? Maybe I'll do more. Maybe not. It depends on you guys. Do you want more? Please tell me in the comments below. Okay, so I'm done with my video. That's it. I'm done. Y'all know I suck at outros, so subscribe, like, do all the things that you do. And I just have to cut it off. You know what the problem is? It's like when I go to outro, I got all these things in my brain and I'm like, oh my god, did I ask this question that I wanted to ask? Did I say this that I wanted to say? I don't know. I can't remember. And I don't want to stop the tape and like rewind it and play and rewind and play because sometimes I have to do that. Sometimes I really do forget. I got short-term memory loss. That's it. So okay. I'm gonna go. All right, so let me know what's up and I will catch you guys in my next one. Peace.